So we're here in Toronto. This is the first Canadian city we've ever been in and the first time coming to Canada. We came from Niagara Falls yesterday, so if you want to see Niagara Falls, we checked out both the American and Canadian side, and you can see that in our previous vlog. But here we're at St. Lawrence Market to kick off our day, and they have lots of vendors and lots of interesting food choices, and it's a very long, really impressive building for an indoor market. So we're excited to see what's in there, and the market itself has roots that date back to 1803. Back here is a very famous bagel place. You can see there is a very long line for it, and we're not going to try it right now just because we just had a big sandwich and lots of bread, but it looks good. They're authentic Montreal bagels. So we went downstairs. There's a downstairs to this St. Lawrence Market, and this has a little bit more like merchandise kind of things, but still a few food restaurants down here, including this one bakery that has an insanely long line. We wanted to stop there, but not sure if we'll wait for the line. But upstairs has lots of deli meats and cheeses and produce, very heavily saturated with that. Well, that's a wrap on St. Lawrence Market. There's a lot to check out there and a lot of things to try. But right now we're going to make our way over to the Hockey Hall of Fame with a few other stops along the way. Behind us here is a very unique building. It's the Gooderham Building, the Flatiron Building. It was built in 1891, so it's a historical building, but it's what just makes it interesting is its triangular wedge shape. So if you come here, maybe come check it out just to see how cool it looks. It makes for a nice picture, and it's a little unfortunate now they have lots of construction set up around it, but what are you gonna do? Couple steps from the Gooderham Building is Berczy Park, which we're heading into now, and it has a very interesting fountain that I am super excited about, so let's check it out. Here's the fountain I was talking about. It's the best fountain I think I've ever seen because it's made up of dogs. And I noticed in the actual fountain itself, there's only pugs in the middle, but on the other layers, there's all kinds of different dogs. So I don't know why the middle is just pugs, but they're all looking up to the holy bow. It's super cute and such a quirky little neat thing in this park in the middle of the city. Of course, we find the one lone cat amongst all these dogs. interesting they put a cat on the fountain too.
We walked down to the Hockey Hall of Fame, which is behind us. We're gonna go inside there and take a look at everything.
I'm not a hockey fan. I don't like sports, but Matt does, and what better place to see hockey than in Canada? That's what they're known for, so I'm gonna go check out what they have.
Being from Pittsburgh, we got to stop and see every piece of Penguins memorabilia. And also being from Pittsburgh, every piece of Philly memorabilia we're going to see. We're going to give it a thumbs down. So right here is Pittsburgh Penguins' original jersey and the original colors, which were blue. If you're familiar with Pittsburgh, most of our sports teams are black and gold, but the Penguins were originally blue when they first started.
Here's an interesting section on the Olympic hockey games, which is pretty interesting. Have an interactive part where you can either be on defense, be a goalie, or shoot and try to make a goal. And Matt tried. He's never picked up a hockey stick before, I don't think, and he didn't get any goals, but it's a fun little thing to do, and they record it, so I guess you can have it for later. Also have this room back here where you can pretend you're a sports newscaster, so that's fun. We found a mask perfect for Halloween. If you look up, there's some real pretty stained glass on the upstairs that has the Stanley Cups.
The original Stanley Cup from 1893.
When you exit the Hockey Hall of Fame, it actually takes you up into the gift store over there. It's a great marketing tactic to make you buy stuff, but that's a wrap on the Hockey Hall of Fame, and next we are going to the Distillery District. the Distillery District now. It's a very artsy, trendy place, as you can see by all the colorful trees painted behind me and the very recognizable heart. We're probably gonna get some pictures in there. It's a must come if you're in Toronto. Now this thing is a heck of a art installation, like a big spider. As you can see, there's lots of really cool and old buildings back here too. And this right here is a very interesting sake company that we wanted to try, but I'm not sure if we will or not, but it looks really good and had really good reviews.
So we walked in there. There wasn't much space at the bar to try. I wanted to try their different flights of sake. They offered where you could have 3 of their most popular, I think 7, all 7 of their flavors. So we ended up getting bottles to go. We got a little cute cup too, but we won't pull that out.
It's a little windy down here by the water. You can see the water is quite choppy, but this I would classify as a little bit of a hidden gem. It's an excellent place to come and see the skyline. This is called Polson Pier, and another great place to see the skyline is from Toronto Island, which is just a little island off of the city of Toronto, and it is just a couple-minute ferry ride to get there, and it's a very popular summer destination spot. Not gonna go there on this trip, but we've heard it's very nice, good place to bike, and lots of cool activities over there. Candy haul at the Dollarama. There you go. We're gonna be crossing this bridge right now to get over to an interesting garden that's near the harbor, the lakefront, and you can see back there is the CN Tower. So the CN Tower, like I said before, it is the landmark of Toronto. You can see it from a long ways away. We could even see it kind of leaving Niagara Falls. It's an extremely tall building, one of the tallest in the world. It used to be the tallest building in the world, but now it's actually the 3rd tallest, and it's at 553 meters high, or rather 1,815 feet. And like I said, you can see this thing from a long ways away. It's very impressive. And this thing gets struck, just a fun fact, this thing gets struck by lightning almost 75 times a year, which is pretty wacky. But You can go up it actually and see a great view of the city. It's about $40 a person to go up. There's also an option to do a skywalk, which is basically you're hanging out over on the tower and it looks pretty freaky. So if you're adventurous, you can do that too. It's a little bit more expensive. So we're not gonna go up in the tower, but we just wanted to share some of the facts because it is a very interesting structure and it is the landmark of Toronto, so had to share. But we've already gotten a good view from the sky. When we flew in back from Greece, we came into Toronto, so we already kind of saw the skyline. We're in the Toronto Music Garden right now. It's a nice little garden, hidden, tucked away in the city. It's definitely nice when you're just surrounded by pavement and skyscrapers all the time to take a little breather and be surrounded by all the trees and nature. So I really like this little stop we've made. It was helped designed by cellist Yo-Yo Ma, and I think in the summer they have some music playing throughout the garden, which would be really nice to see and see everything in full bloom. What's pretty neat is it goes around a circular path to that structure in the middle there. Man, all I can say is we hit Toronto at a crazy time. So there's been so many people out walking and stuff. And I know it's a city and that's somewhat natural, but we discovered, well, first, it's a holiday weekend. Thanksgiving's on Monday. 2, there's a home Blue Jays game, home baseball game. And 3, there's a home hockey game. And the hockey and baseball game is occurring today. So that's why we're seeing so many people walking out with jerseys. And yeah, it's just been, wow, what a doozy of a day and weekend. Crazy time to come.
The maple leaves, they've
Head north on Yonge
always
Street
been a
toward
major
Wellington Street
disappointment.
West.
I'm keeping that in the video for people to hear.
In 300 meters.
people, and yeah, it resembles Times Square a lot, but we're not in New York City. It's right here in Toronto, and lots of billboards all around, just like Times Square. Definitely bustling. Interesting place. Here, if you can't see already, is the Toronto sign. It lights up nice at night, and you definitely have to come here and get a picture with it if you're in Toronto, because I mean, how can you not? I mean, I haven't seen a mall this busy, and I don't know when. It is packed. Now we're going to Hyde Park. Not sure if we're actually gonna get out and walk or not, or just do a drive-through, because the main thing I wanted to see was fall foliage, so we'll see how that looks there. But Hyde Park also holds the Hyde Park Zoo, and I think they have like one of the largest primate exhibits in North America. I'm not sure if that's exactly right, but I think I read that somewhere. So if you're in the area and you have family, you have small kids, it would definitely be nice to take a stroll through the park and maybe check out that zoo. So we just discovered that the park is actually closed to vehicles on the weekend, so you would have to park outside the park and walk in, and we just don't really want to do that right now, to be honest. And it's a huge park, so we don't even know where to begin. But it looked really busy, lots of dogs and lots of kids out playing, and seems like a really nice park.
It's a really nice area around the park too, very nice residential houses.
Yep, very nice.
Museum, otherwise known as the ROM. It's the largest museum in Canada and the 5th largest in North America. It has over 6 million artifacts on display. On the first floor, they have a lot of Asian culture artifacts from Korea and China.
It's crazy that they're able to ship such large things like this. I mean, I don't know how they do it without it breaking. Second floor looks like a freaking science class. Lots of things in jars and dead animals. It's about biodiversity. vile plume up in here. It's the world's largest flower.
We wandered into the hands-on biodiversity section, which is essentially like the kids section. If you have a kid, they actually have a lot of hands-on stuff for them to play with, and we thought it was pretty neat too.
It's about to get dark in here.
Actually, the Batcave does not have real bats. We thought they would be real bats, but it's not real bats. There's projectors and optical illusions and stuff like that. This bird section is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen so many species of birds all together. And they're all in flight too, it's just pretty cool.
It's like the horror movie. The birds in here.
This thing right here was actually a bear. Pretty crazy looking bear. That thing right there is an Irish elk. It's actually the closest living relative to modern day elk. This section has a lot of the gigantic animals that lived before the previous ice age.
Now I want to go home and watch all the Ice Age movies again.
Supposedly this thing right here is where modern horses came from before they started getting bigger and bigger. This is easily the most dinosaurs I've ever seen in my life. If you have a kid or you have somebody that's a fan of dinosaurs, they're going to love this museum.
And I personally love that they have this sheet of red glass here because mass extinction. Everyone dies.
I thought I recognized this fossil piece here. If you look, there's these ferns that are white on a black rock. And the reason I thought I recognized this is because we're from Pennsylvania, and there's a place in Pennsylvania that you can go and collect these, where there used to be, but people started to get too crazy in collecting them, but I think they shut it down. So now I'm not sure if you can still go and collect these. Holy cow, look at that big thing swimming over there.
Have a whole section here dedicated to gemstones. There's so many colors and varieties, and it'd be fun to try and pick out your favorite. And here is one of my favorites. It's not the most flashy, but pyrite, fool's gold. I have a few of those at home.
And this section, minerals and gems, is also on the same floor as the dinosaurs and fossils. So on the third floor is ancient Rome, ancient Greece, and ancient Egypt. We might power through this stuff because we saw a lot of this when we were in Greece at the museum. But if you're a fan of ancient Greece, Rome, or Egypt, there's a lot of stuff on the third floor. Hey, we were there. It's the Acropolis. If you want to see us visiting the Acropolis, go back and search our old videos on Greece. Hey, it looks like you. Inside an Egyptian tomb right now. It's kind of cool they have this in the exhibit where you duck down in and go inside this Egyptian tomb.
Pretty wacky.
It looks like this tomb is the tomb of some man named Kitness.
Egyptian, Greek.
That concludes our trip at the ROM. It's hard for us to spend a lot of time there, but if you come to visit, I would definitely spend at least a day, maybe even 2 days at the ROM, just because there's so much to see.
We're heading into Kensington Market now. It's not really a market, like a building like St. Lawrence, it's just a neighborhood, but there's lots of food options here. It's a really popular foodie destination. Back at the Airbnb now after Kensington Market. Basically all we did today was eat food. If you want to see all the food more in detail, go watch our video that's specifically a food tour and covers all the food we've eaten while in Toronto. It's a lot. Before we leave Toronto, just thought some people might be interested where we stayed. So we're staying on the west side of Toronto, and here's our little Airbnb. Just give a brief tour. It's on the second floor. Here is the living room real quick, and little kitchen area. It has everything you need, and bathroom in here. It's just a simple, mainly white bathroom, and here's the stairs that lead up to the Airbnb. Little hallway, and the bedroom where Matt is packing up because we're gearing to get out of here and start our drive home. So that's a wrap on Toronto. Very diverse city, largest in Canada. So as you can imagine, there's lots to do and lots to eat. We wanted to give a little tip before we sign off about the parking situation. A lot of people, I imagine, do use public transportation. There's buses or subways, and we just used our car to get around and used some public parking spaces.
So you should probably download this app called Green Pea Parking on your phone, and you can use that to park everywhere. You either type in the number of the location, or if it's a parking garage, you can use tap and pay to pay for it as you leave. Parking is somewhat expensive, not super expensive, but it does cost a good bit. Pretty much everywhere you go is, you know, say $2 to $6 for a half hour of parking. Now there is a daily maximum, but yeah, it definitely can add up. Next time we'll probably try to not come to Canada on a holiday weekend. We didn't realize it was their Thanksgiving, so that made things really crazy. Lots of people everywhere we went. It was pretty busy.
And one cool thing we noticed about Toronto is like the culture of the city is the culture of the people that inhabit it. It's very interesting place. I'm not sure there's anything quite like it. And another cool thing is we've never seen a city that had so many dogs. Almost everyone was walking a dog or maybe 2 dogs, and such a variety of dogs. I loved it. Probably why they have that dog fountain that we showed. And also black squirrels. There's tons of black squirrels everywhere, which I haven't really seen any black squirrels until this point. So that was cool. But I think that's it. I think that's all we got.
There's a really good food and coffee scene, I would say.
Yep. Well, that's all we have for Toronto for now. Maybe someday we'll come back and try out some more food and see some more museums, but that's all we have for now. We're gonna make it back across the American border tonight.
See you on the next adventure.